Welcome to Spiritual Happy Hour. It's a wonderful time of the year, and well, it's a wonderful time of the month because it's the time for Spiritual Happy Hour.
And it's our favorite time of the week.
It is our favorite time of the week.
Why?
Well, because it's Spiritual Happy Hour. Because we get to listen to Randy Luna, the master Randy Luna, playing the most amazing music. Don't you love our theme song? It's different every time. And then after Joy brings a wonderful message, he's going to play an amazing song again to bring us into Adironda and the Council of Light.
So stick around.
If you don't know who Adironda and the Council of Light are, Google them. That'll tell you. So what do we have going today?
Well, Henry Ford said, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you are right. And A Course in Miracles says, when you believe something, you have already made it true for you. So hang on to this idea till the end, because I'm going to ask for your help. As you probably already know, I'm a student of A Course in Miracles, and I read a lesson every morning, and I meditate on it for at least 5 minutes every day. This habit was one of the many life-changing habits that I incorporated into my life, and it brought much joy and happiness to my world. I'm such a huge advocate of a minimum of 5 minutes for God or the universe, or in all reality, your own peace of mind daily. I mean, this shit works. This morning's lesson was so awesome. It was, I am forever an effect of God. Now, understand, ACIM is for your head. I mean, it's for your mind. It's for your ego to help get it out of the way for love. It's for awakening and hopefully, fingers crossed, right? Bringing us one step closer to enlightenment, which is one step closer to living a peaceful, joy-filled life, which right now, with all that's happening in the world, who couldn't use that? Which brings me back to the lesson, I am forever an effect of God. God is only love. I mean, you could actually substitute the word God for love. Only love is real. So when you are love, you are, in effect, forever an effect of God. I hear you. You're saying, so Joy, if this is true, why do we struggle? Why is there struggle in the world? Why does it seem, especially in this moment, that sometimes there's just no love in the world at all? Great question. And one, even with my 5 minutes daily, I continue to ask myself. Then I remember there is only love. Only love is real. Everything else is the mad illusion we have collectively created in our minds, which, by the way, we can uncreate too, because we've forgotten that we are not separate from God. So, what can we do when all hell breaks loose? When it hurts to go on social media because the news is so horrific? When we can't sleep at night because there are unspeakable, unthinkable atrocities happening in the world? I mean, I hear you. Joy. I don't want to just put my head in the sand, pretend all is good when the world seems to be falling apart. Well, I don't either. So I'll share with you what works for me. I'll begin by starting with how I lead my own business, which in a way is kind of like a small country. The other day, in an effort to create a positive vibe within our company communications, I asked everyone, what uplifting song are you currently listening to? What's your song for the day? A bunch of really positive song responses came back, though one person jokingly said that on one monitor she had all of the crazy, outrageous rumors and horrific news up. My immediate response was, why? Why would you want to expose yourself throughout the day to the horrors of the world when you could simply pivot and choose to uplift yourself? Which, by the way, when you make this choice, you uplift everyone around you too. Her response was, oh, I listen to plenty of positive stuff. You got to have a balance. Well, I'm here to tell you There's no balance when it comes to love. There is only love. I'm not saying put your head in the sand. I'm not here to choose sides or make a political commentary. Yes, it's important to know what's happening in the world. And yes, you are, after all, a citizen of planet Earth. But knowing and absorbing long, continual exposures of horrific news are simply playing into the fear. FEAR. Which, by the way, is an acronym for face everything and rise. Rise above. Fear is bad for your health and your well-being, whether you realize it or not. It's like an icky smell, like cigarette smoke, that when you're exposed to it, it gets into your clothes and your hair, and you start smelling like cigarettes. The problem is, when you're exposed to the news, you can't unsee the horror. You can't unthink the unthinkable, but you can pivot. You can have a cursory glance, know what is happening in the world, and immediately lean into compassion, lean into love somehow. Drop to your knees in love if you must, in tears. As Marilyn says, she cries for the world. Crying or sadness is a far higher vibration than anger. Crying is release, while anger is resistance, far less venomous. And send those tears out into the world. This is why monks go to caves or in solitary to pray for the planet, so that they can focus so much love and compassion to the world without distraction. And here's the key. So they can get out of their head and into their heart. So what's your ratio of bad news to good news? What's your ratio of fear to love? Can you truly separate the feeling of horror from your body? Because if you can't, your body will absorb it and will show up as some kind of dis-ease. It's your body's way of saying, ick, I don't like this feeling. I don't like this cigarette smell. Because as Adironda always says, your purpose in life is to live in joy, not in ick. And right now, I know, it's really hard with all that is happening in the world to separate it. And I get it. I'm like you. I want to know what's going on. I want to know how I can help. As war broke out in Israel and I sit in my comfortable home filled with all the things I love, plenty of food and water, with my beautiful partner in life, Carlicious, and plenty of fulfilling and enjoyable work to do, we threw ourselves into the news to find out what was happening on the other side of the world. We have many friends and people we know firsthand that are being affected by this war in Israel. And in fact, we've had to cancel our upcoming tour of Israel because of it. And it just made us really sad. And we wanted to know what is happening. Then we realized something. We didn't truly know what exactly this conflict was about. Yes, people were texting us blog and Facebook posts, and we were watching the news and reading article after article and watching video after video. And we began asking, what has caused such hatred, such venom and disgust and just blatant disregard for human lives? So we changed our news feed to researching and attempting to understand the conflict, both sides. And we spent some time trying to have a better understanding of 2,000 years, yes, of fighting. Now, I have to tell you, in focusing our attention on learning and understanding rather than being fed horrific pictures of destruction and death, the feeling in our bodies began to change. We went from shock absorbers to more like embracers, like huggers, feeling complete compassion for those caught in the middle. It's almost like picking up a small child who's fallen and hurt himself and holding him and hugging him and kissing the top of his head and comforting him that it's going to be okay, rather than telling the next person that I see, oh my God, did you see what happened to that small child who fell down? It was horrible. His knee was all bloody and he didn't know what to do. Now, I don't want you to think that I don't care about what is happening. Because like you, probably, I care deeply. But, and this is the information that I hope will change your life, I live my life by the 4 agreements. Number 1, don't make assumptions. Number 2, don't take anything personally. Number 3, be impeccable with your word. And number 4, always do your best. I'm such a believer in this way of living that Don Miguel Ruiz reveals in his book, The 4 Agreements, that I offer it up to you now as a life-changing piece of information that can help you in this time of chaos. You see, we cute little human beings create needless suffering in our life. And I know this to be true because I suffered for decades from anxiety, terrible anxiety. And these self-limiting beliefs, they rob us of our joy, period. Don Miguel offered this powerful code of conduct, as he calls it, based upon ancient Toltec wisdom. This is not new information. Can you imagine if the conflict in Israel could abide by the 4 agreements? It's such a game changer for me that it's also the company values and rules of my business, Solopreneur Productions. It is the easiest, fastest way I've experienced to transform your life into a new experience of freedom and true happiness. Once more, what are the 4 agreements? Number 1, don't make assumptions. Don't assume everything you read in the news is true. Do your own research. Number 2, don't take anything personally. How is this news personally impacting you in this moment? Is it? Do you need to be angry about it? Do you need to spread the venom? Remember, there's a consciousness at play here, and as Adironda always says, you're either part of the problem or part of the solution. Which do you choose? Number 3, be impeccable with your word. Choose a way to help, even if simply with your words. Choose words that can shift the conflict to compassion or to love. Again, you're a part of the narrative. You're a part of the collective consciousness. You literally have a say. And number 4, always do your best. I know that you're a light worker. I know that you want to choose love. How can you bring love to the situation? I know, it's not easy. And my dad used to always say, if it were easy, everyone would be doing it. But someone needs to shift the conversation in a different way, in a way of love. Someone in every corner of the world needs to start the conversation with love in order to shift the balance. And as Adironda always says, you are the greatest co-creator on the planet. You and God. What do you want your role to look like? Problem expander or problem solver? Let me give you a very small scale example that begins, again, with my business. No, it's not a country, but it is a group of people who sometimes come up against conflict. When someone comes to me with a people problem, when they're having an issue with someone, the first thing we do is look to the 4 agreements. And the person first looks within, asking, am I making assumptions? Am I taking something personally? Have I been impeccable with my word? And am I doing my best? If the answer is satisfactory and the 4 agreements are being abided by, then we look at the other party. Because first, we always take 100% responsibility for an issue. Did they make an assumption? Did they take something personally? Could they have been more impeccable with their word? Did they do their best? Always. The question points to the problem, which creates a discussion, and the problem can find a solution. No need for drama, no need for anxiety, and ultimately, we all want the solution to be the good for the whole, because ultimately, we all want to return to love, which is all there is, remember? Everything else is something made up in the minds of men and in women. But it's not God, because as it says in the Course, you are forever an effect of God. One of the letters that we received from someone we know that is living within the current conflict in Israel was filled with sadness. Yes, of course. Just reading it brings streams of tears down your face. But here's the thing. It didn't have any description of devastation. And it ended with words of hope. The person is a very enlightened individual, and maybe this will help you if you're struggling with the latest news. She writes, "It's not in my nature to be afraid. Therefore, I'm just heartbroken." She goes on to say, "This is changing the old vibration to a new and more loving and coherent one. So I just love and imagine better solutions for all of us worldwide." Wow. This is someone who is living in the midst of the horror. She's not taking it personally. She's not making any assumptions. In fact, she's creating solutions through her consciousness because she's being impeccable with her word, knowing that's the best thing she can do right now. I think it's the best most of us can all do right now. Imagine better solutions for all of us worldwide. Because whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. And when you believe something, you have made it true for you. Randy, could you take us into a warm embrace? Could you help to heal our broken hearts? And as all of you out there listen to Randy's music, let's imagine better solutions worldwide. And then afterwards, let's hear what Adironda has to say.
So it is good day to you, huh? And good day to you, good day to you, good day to you, good day to you, good day to each of you. So here we are. Understanding Henry Ford and Don Miguel Ruiz and us. We're in pretty good company, we would say. And the joy. Of course, we can't leave the joy out. Yes, we are in good company because we are with you. And that is amazing company. Because you see that the world, the planet, is also in your company. The planet is also in the frequency of transformation. The planet is also in the frequency of trying to find that place of balance. It is a challenge sometimes to see the balance. That is why we have to honor our dear friend from across the world, where she says, being afraid is not a part of who I am. She stands strong. She stands confident. She may be in a safe room, but she still is in that safe room, strong and confident. Even though the pain is great because she has lost family and friends. This world is renewing itself. This world is not in a reset, because that means that it's doing something that it has done before. This world is in a new set. It is uncovering a place of illumination, uncovering a place of light, uncovering a place of God that is within all beings on this planet. Even though sometimes it seems that humans cannot see the God that is within all beings on this planet. So return to those agreements. You are the creation of God. You are a part of God. You are God who is within you. And do not make assumptions. Be impeccable to your word. Always do your best. And do not take anything personally. So as you understand how you can live that essence every day, every moment, every experience, what does that mean to you? And how can you shift what you are presently doing, being, having, experiencing? For with that energy, with that divine focus, divinity is still all there is. Are you creating a greater problem because you're pointing out to everything around you and everyone around you, oh, did you see that happen? Oh, did you see this happen? Oh, did you experience that happening? And creating an escalation of pain and anxiety. Or are you saying, what can I do to help? What can we do in our community to assist those innocent people that are being caught up in war-torn countries around the planet? Parts of this world have been at war with each other for a great deal of time, maybe 2,000 years or more. And parts of this world, this planet, are incorporating new wars, new energy, new pain, a new way of suffering. in that aspect, we come back to, what can you do? What can you be to help? That is the key. By your beingness, you are automatically acknowledging the God self that is within you. We can use God here because this is spiritual happy hour, and God is spirit, and Source, and Randy, and Joy, and Carol, and you. That is the essence of all. So imagine a world where there is no war. Imagine a world that comes out to a new set of beliefs and programs. Imagine a world where there is beauty, truth, compassion, love for all people, honoring the differences that we are going to have. Because that is the way you were created as well. Different from your friend, from your neighbor, and from your enemy. But the Master still said, love your enemy as you love yourself. As you understand this, we ask you to keep the light, hold the light, be the light of love and compassion. Be proactive. Be impeccable to your word. Don't assume you have all the facts, because you probably do not. Don't take it personally when someone appears to do something to you or against you. And always, always do your best. Be your best. Have your best. Experience your best. And honor those who seem to be less fortunate at this moment. How can you help? How can you help re-educate those that do not choose to be educated? Oversoul to oversoul? Guidance system to guidance system? Angelic realm to angelic realm? It certainly cannot hurt. Asking for a consciousness change. A consciousness transformation. And then imagine the world and how it will be then. We love you. We see you. We know you. We are you. Namaste. Namaste.